Hello everyone. Here we are going to see about the unit fiber continuation part. In this topics we are going to see about the SONET or SDS and also the its types and also WDM. Synchronous optical networks. SONET is the acronym for Synchronous Optical Network in North America, and SDH is the acronym for Synchronous Digital Hierarchy in other parts of the world. So SONET is a high speed network and its frame structure permits to support the very flexible set of bearer services. So this SONET is the basic physical layer standard, and other data types such as ATM and IP can be transmitted over SONET. So the OC1 will be consists of 810 bytes over 125 US, and OCN consists of 810 bytes over 125 US. So the linear multiplexing and demultiplexing is possible with the add-drop multiplexer. So SONET or SDH. Why we are going for this means the SONET or SDH format allows the different types of signal formats which to be transmitted over fiber optic cable. So in addition to it allows the adding or dropping of signals within a single multiplexer. So the communication between various localized networks is complex due to differences in digital signal hierarchies, encoding techniques and multiplexing strategies. So the communications between TDM networks requires complicated multiplexing, demultiplexing, coding and decoding in order to convert the signal from one format to another format. So to solve this signal conversion problem, SONET standardizes the rates, frame format, signaling and the termination between the SONET equipment. So here the basic transmission bitrate of a basic SONET signal is STS1 is equal to 90 bytes per row into 9 rows per frame and 8 bits per byte, 125 microseconds per frame, that is a 51.84 megabits per second. So in SDH the basic rate is 155.52 megabits per second. Here the SONETs or SDH rings. So SONET or SDH are usually configured as a ring architecture. So the SONET and SDH rings are commonly called self-hearing rings, since the traffic flowing along the certain path can automatically be switched to an alternate or standby path following either failure or degradation of link segment. So there are two popular SONET and SDH networks. One is 2 fiber unidirectional path switch rings and another one is 2 fiber or 4 fiber bidirectional line switched rings. So first there are 8 possible combination of ring types. First, either of 2 or 4 fibers running between the nodes on a ring, and second, the operating signals can travel either clockwise only or in both the directions around the ring bidirectional, that is. And the third one is protection switching that can be performed either via line switching or path switching scheme. In a link failure or degradation, the line switching moves to all the signal channels of an entire OCN channel to the protection fiber. Similarly, the path switching can move an individual channels within the OCN channel to other path. So there are this will be help for the SONET or SDH ring architecture processing. So here we have shown that the generic 2 fiber UPRs with a counter rotating protection path. So the next one is 2 fiber UPSR basics. So in this 2 fiber UPR basics, the signals will be transferred from one point to one node to another node with a primary path, and the next signal will be transferred through the protection path. So the nodes of 1 to OC3 will be giving these signals from one node to another node, and for example the total capacity, that is OC12 may be divided to 4 OC3 streams, that is the OC3 is called a path here. Next one is 2 fiber UPSR protections. So this figure will show the 2 fiber unidirectional path switch ring network. So in the normal working, traffic can travels in the clockwise around the ring on the primary path. So for example, the connection from the node 1 to node 3 uses link 1 and 2, whereas the traffic from node 3 to node 1 travels links 3 and 4. So thus the two communicating nodes uses a specific bandwidth capacity around an entire perimeter of the ring. So the alternate route for protection against the link or node failures, which is called as a protection path. So and it is indicated by the dashed lines. So here the traffic flows counterclockwise, namely from node 1 to node 3 via the links 5 and 6. So the next one is the BLSR recovery from failure nodes. So if the primary ring device will be fails in either node 3 or 4, the affected nodes will detect the loss of signal condition and switch both the primary fibers connecting these nodes to secondary protection pair. So if an entire node fails or both the primary and the protection fibers in a given span are severed, the adjacent nodes switch the primary path connections to the protection fibers. So in order to loop traffic back to the previous node, so this will illustrates the architecture of 4 fiber bidirectional line switched ring. So the next one is 4 fiber bidirectional line switched ring basics. So here this figure will illustrate the architecture of the 4 fiber, and here 2 primary fiber loops are used for normal bidirectional communication. So with the fiber segments, it will be labeled as 1P through the 8P. So the other 2 secondary fiber loops are the standby links, which is used for the protection purposes. So in contrast to the 2 fiber UPSR, the 4 fiber BLSR has a capacity advantage since it uses the twice as much fiber cabling, and because the traffic between the 2 nodes are sent only partially around the ring. So suppose the primary ring fails in either the node 3 or 4 means, then in this situation that will affect the nodes detector loss of signal condition and switch both primary fibers connecting them to secondary protection pair. So here is the BLSR fiber fault reconfiguration. So this reconfiguration will be find out that in case of the failure of the signal or a loop, the secondary fibers between only the affected nodes, that is 3 and 4, are used. So the other links are remains unaffected. So these type of fiber protection will be passes through the node 1 to node 5, and there will be the protection of switching that will be break in primary fiber signal. So the card will be failure in this part of reconfiguration processing. So the next one is BLSR node fault reconfiguration. So here when the BLSR is node fault, both the primary and the secondary are cut. So still the connection is not lost. So but both the primary and secondary fibers of the entire ring is occupied. So the signal will be passes, and there will be the cable failure between the node 4 and node 3 here. So that node will be failure. So it will be passes the signal from node 4 to again node 5 and the node 3 to again node 2. So the protection switching loopbacks will be occur in this node fault reconfiguration processing. So the next one is SONET or SDH networks. So there will be the variety of SONET or SDH network architectures which are available for commercial purposes. For example, one can build point-to-point links, linear chains, unidirectional path switch rings, bidirectional line switch rings, and interconnected rings. So the OC192 4 fiber BLSR could be a large national backbone network with a number of OC48 rings attached in the different cities. So the OC48 rings can have a lower capacity which will be localized into OC12 or OC3 rings or chains attached to them. So thereby providing the possibility of attaching the equipment that has an extremely wide range of rates and sizes. So each of the individual ring has its own failure recovery mechanism and SONET or SDH network management procedures. So the next one is the generic SONET network. So here the versatile SONET equipments are available that will support the wide range of configuration. So the bit rates and protection schemes are occurred in this areas. So that will be the two sides. One is a local area and another one is citywide. So in the local area we will use the linear chain directions, and in the citywide we have used the large national backbone directions. So if there is any interconnected rings, it will be passes the OC link from one link to another link, and it will be passes the national backbone processing to connect the rings from one part to another part of the signal. So the next one is add or drop multiplexer. So the add or drop multiplexer, which will provide the interfaces between the different network signals and SONET signals. So the single stage multiplexing can multiplex or demultiplex one or more tributary signals into the from a STS-N signals. So it can be used in the terminal sites and the intermediate sites or hub configurations. So this piece of equipment is fully synchronous and byte oriented multiplexer that is used to both the add and drop subchannels within the OCN signal. So the rest of the traffic simply continues straight through the add or drop multiplexer. So the next one is SONET add drop multiplexers. So this will be shows that the functional concepts of an ADM. Here various OC12s and OC3s are multiplexed into OC48. So upon entering an ADM, these subchannels can be individually dropped by the ADM and others can be added. So in this figure, one OC12 and two OC3 channels enters the leftmost ADM as a part of an OC48 channel. So the OC12 is passed through and the two OC3s are dropped by the first ADM. So the two or more OC12s and one OC3s are multiplexed together with an OC12 channel that is passing through an OC48, and it is sent to another ADM node in the downstream manner. So the next one is dense wavelength division multiplexing. So the SONET or SDH architecture can be implemented with multiple wavelengths. So the multiple channels of informations which will be carried over the same fiber, each using the individual wavelength. So the dense WDM is WDM utilizing which is closely spaced channels, and the channel spacing is reduced to 1.6 nanometer and less. So the cost effective way of increasing the capacity without replacing the fiber. So it will allow new optical network topologies, for example high speed metropolitan rings. So the next one is DWDM standards. So here the different wavelength outputs from each of these standards will be ITU recommendation, and it is G692 optical interfaces for multi-channel system with optical amplifiers. So the G692 includes the number of DWDM channel plans and the channel separation set at 50, 100 and 200 GHz. So it is equivalent to approximate wavelength spacing of 0.4, 0.8 and 1.6 nanometer. So the channels lie in the range 1530.3 nanometer to 1567.1 nanometer. So it is called as C-band. Newer L-band exists from about 1570 nanometer to 1620 nanometer. So supervisory channels also specified at 1510 nanometer to handle the alarms and monitoring. So the next one is WDM. So here the different wavelength outputs from each OC192 transmitters are passed first through the variable attenuation to equalize the output powers. So these output powers are then fed into the wavelength multiplexer, possibly amplified by the post transmitter optical amplifier and sent out over the transmission fiber. So the additional optical amplifiers might also be located at an intermediate points and or at the receiving end. So here the pre-amplifier is performed over the received signal, followed by the wavelength demultiplexer to get back the actually transmitted wavelength output. What components make up the DWDM system? So here the erbium doped fiber amplifiers and the multiplexers, demultiplexer, add or drop multiplexer, optical switch. These components will be used for the DWDM system to make the processing very smoothful. Next advantages, see here the greater fiber capacity, it will easier network expansion, no new fiber needed, just add a new wavelength, incremental cost for a new channel is low, no need to replace many components such as optical amplifiers, DWDM systems capable of longer span lengths, TDM approach using STM64 is more costly and more susceptible to chromatic and polarization mode dispersion. So it can be moved to STM64 when the economics is improved. And the disadvantages are no cost effective for low channel numbers, fixed cost of mux or demux, transponder, other system components, introduces another element, that there is a frequency domain to network design and management. SONET or SDH network management systems, it will not well equipped to handle the DWDM topologies, DWDM performance monitoring and protection methodologies developing. Thank you.